going to kick off things this hour with a story about a terrible situation for many residents of NDG. They're in an apartment building in the Monkland Village, and their building has banned AC air conditioning for all residents, blocking balconies for repair. Now, I know looking at the forecast today, conditions are a little bit cooler than they've been in the last few days. But if you can imagine, earlier in the week, when we're hitting 30 degrees and you're in a high-rise apartment building, it's 30 degrees and you're not allowed to run the air conditioning, and some of your access doors, like your balcony, are blocked. That must be a pretty tough situation. Let's welcome some of these tenants onto the program this morning. We've got Lisa Chretien on the line. No relation, Lisa, right, to the big Prime Minister?
That's right. No relation. I get that a lot.
So, Lisa, welcome to the program. I'll start off with you because I think when we have some of your neighbors in the building as well that are going to join us. But why don't you tell our listeners here, what's the situation? How long have you been in this building and how did this all come about?
I actually haven't been living in this building very long. I moved in August, but it's been a lot of different little problems, one after the other. This one is the major one. And so the situation is, as you described, I haven't had access to my balcony actually since I moved in. I didn't know that initially. I wasn't told. And then after I moved in, I realized that I didn't have access, and I was told that repairs would be done. And then they never got back to us on when it would be. And then finally, when repairs did start, now it's been one thing after the other, and access to balconies was removed. They've bolted both the inside and the outside of the door. So there's absolutely no access. And they've also, furthermore to that, they've also blocked the windows that look onto the balconies. So they're barricaded. You can't open them. And
you still have other windows, right? It's not the only window that we're talking about. You still have access to fresh air?
Yeah, for myself, I still have my bedroom windows that I can open. So those ones but I have 0 windows that can open in the living room. Gotcha. In my other, because I have a 3.5. So those are the only windows I have access to. And so my bedroom is quite separate from the rest of my apartment, so I actually don't really get any airflow. What happened? Whatsoever.
What happened when the temperatures hit 30 this week? What was it like in your place?
Being like a concrete building as well, it's extremely hot and stuffy. I was really quick, and I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but I did it anyway, and I purchased a portable air conditioner that I jammed into my window. And I've been running that but that's an extra cost, right? Like, my air conditioning is supposed to be included in my rent.
Understood. Yeah, understood. But I would imagine, listen, you know, even if it's allowed or not, you sort of need to be able to breathe and enjoy your place. Let me bring in one of your neighbors here. We've got Erica Botner on the line. Hi, Erica.
Hi.
You've been listening to Lisa there. Why don't you add on to what Lisa said? Maybe something we haven't touched on yet, or from your perspective, how it's been treating you?
Sure. So I actually just moved in March, and same as Lisa, I was not aware of this situation when I moved in, and I probably would not have moved in if I knew I wouldn't have access to the balcony or the air conditioner. And I'm just frustrated that there hasn't been any offer of compensation, right? Like, I'm paying for the square footage that includes the balcony, right? That I don't have access to, and the air conditioner is listed in the lease. You know, so I just think, like, some of the things I understand, you know, like, for sure we can't access our balconies right now because they've taken down the railings. It would be unsafe, you know, but the amount that we can open the windows, which is like an inch or two, is like ridiculous. It could have been just a little bit bigger, you know. They could, you know, I feel like they could have done the work in blocks or in, you know, based on floors or the front and then the back, so that we wouldn't have access for a shorter amount of time, like not for the whole summer. So I just think, for me, it's like it's the way that it's all been handled and the communication that's really frustrating.
And
or lack of
communication.
Yeah, because they don't. Because you'll reach out to them and they don't answer you. They will not communicate whatsoever. They will not answer emails.
And
they'll
I guess
reply with a group email. They'll reply with an email that goes out to everybody, but then it doesn't really answer the question.
Exactly.
And obviously sometimes you need to get media involved, right? And in order to get some answers. Now, CTV Montreal covered this story as well. They spoke to GWL Realty Advisors, the company that owns your building. Now, they do point out that they know they're inconveniencing tenants. They're not discounting that. They say, though, they're mitigating the impact, providing an air-conditioned space in the building, free internet access, that kind of stuff. I hear the laughs already.
Oh, my God. Okay, so let's just address this mitigation measure. I'm sorry, it's ridiculous. We have over 100 units in the building. Okay, so this space is depriving. It's fine. And, have they been like, listen, we're providing the space during the day because we can't run the air conditioners during the day when the construction's going on due to the dust and safety of the workers. And at night you can run your air conditioning and whatever. That would have been a very different conversation. It wasn't even an option put on the table. But that space is not big enough to accommodate everybody. Not to mention we have some very senior residents that have a myriad of health problems and other people, which you saw in the interview on CTV. And if you didn't, there is, my neighbor, Raul and Jenny, who she's undergoing cancer treatment. She can't be in a group space like that. It's not safe for her. She's immunocompromised. Not to mention everyone that has animals. You can't bring all your dogs down there. I have 2 senior dogs. Erica has a senior dog. They're small. And we have other dogs in the building that are not nice. They're actually borderline vicious with small
and
dogs.
Senior cats. So you can't bring cats into an open space.
Yeah, no, of course. Okay, so listen, guys, I'm happy you brought up Jenny and Raul because they're on the line. They're going to join us next. So I want to thank both of you, Lisa and Erica, Lisa Chretien, Erica Botner. Thanks so much for joining us this morning. I appreciate it.